Okay. Show me.
Hi there guys, welcome back to the Dutch RC channel for an update on my story saga about 3D printing. I've got the Creality CR-10 printer here, and in the last video, in our previous video, part 2, I left you with a printer that didn't work. This box here didn't fire up. Yeah, so that's not right. Lucky for all of us, especially me in this case, I did solve it, and guess what? This is what I just finished printing. Here we go. There! A gorgeous model of a fire trooper, flame trooper from Star Wars. Yes, isn't that gorgeous? What? You don't believe me? Huh? No, obviously I did not print this Starship Trooper with this printer. However, I did solve it. As you can see, the display now fires up. Excellent. And I've done quite a bit of printing with the printer. In this video I'll tell you what was wrong, of course, with the printer. After that I'll show you and tell you how I got from this state to it being able to print well. There's a few steps involved in that. So that's what this here video is about. Let's get started. Okay, the first part is very simple. What was wrong was that the connector, the ribbon cable from the display to the logic board that's at the top of this box had come loose or wasn't connected at all. So at the bottom of this box there are a couple of screws, there and there, and you take those out and then you have access to the electronics. And it was a simple matter of connecting that cable, and that was it. Now one of my subscribers, Mr. Scott, asked me, yes, that's nice, but what would have happened if there was really something at fault here? How would, in this case, Banggood have solved this? Well, I can't answer that 100% sure, of course, because I didn't give them the opportunity to solve anything. There was nothing to solve. What I would expect is that they would, for instance, if let's say that the display was at fault, or the electronics board, or a cable, in that case they would have not replaced the entire printer, of course, not necessary, but they would have shipped me a replacement display, logic board, cable. Right, that makes sense, I think, and that would have been the right thing to do, I'd say. Is that because I'm a reviewer with a channel with 7,000+ subscribers? I don't think so. If you'd receive this printer or anything else from Banggood and there's something at fault, as long as you can clearly show them in a short video what's at fault, they'll help you out. I do from time to time get stories from customers, not only from Banggood, Gearbest, Hobby King, complaints that they weren't helped out. I think in most cases the cause of that is the customer not being clear enough about what's going on, what's at fault. Again, I've had a couple of issues with products, as anyone does, especially at the volume I'm ordering. And just as long as I email them with a short video showing the exact fault, I get helped out, and I do think a normal customer would as well. Okay, so much for my troubleshooting. How do you get a printer that you've just taken out of the box, like this one, the CR-10 from Creality, to a state that it can actually print well. There's the first step. There are a couple of steps. The very first step is leveling the bed, this plate over here. And let me zoom into that a little so I can show you what's involved with that. So this here bed, the glass plate, needs to be level. I think that makes sense. I mean, the printer is going to be printing on this surface. If the surface isn't level, yeah. Okay, so at the bottom of this plate, there at each corner, there's a thumb screw. Let me see if I can show that to you. It's a bit awkward, but here is a thumb screw and there is a thumb screw. I hope that's visible. And by turning those thumb screws in and out, the bed will raise or lower at that specific position. Now, what you can also hopefully see is that there are 4 screws holding on the metal plate, the heated bed. And what you want to do is bring down the print head, like so, to its lowest position, very lowest position. I can't move it down further. Then move the print, or the bed rather, so that the print nozzle is aligned with that screw. The print nozzle is exactly above that screw now. Now I take a piece of paper. This is normal printing paper with a little bit of tape around it. It's shiny, as you can hopefully see. Then I move that paper underneath the print nozzle. And it should provide a little bit of friction. As you can see, I can move the paper underneath it, but there is some friction. That's what you want. Bit of friction, but you can still move the paper around. Then you move to the second corner. Again, I position the print nozzle right above that screw and try to move the paper underneath the print head. And I should feel the exact same amount of friction. If I don't, I move the bed up or down with that thumb screw. And, well, guess what? Same thing for the other 2 corners. There I'm at the 3rd corner now, and paper and I move it underneath the print nozzle and I can move it around, but there is some friction. Excellent. And the 4th one as well, of course. And what I did, and that's beneficial, is I didn't do just 4, I redid them, because repositioning the last 2 ones might have a small effect on the first 2 ones. So I basically go around twice, and after that, well, that suffices. You might want to redo this after about around 10 prints or so. That's what I did, and that worked out well. So that's the bed leveling and well, the spacing between the bed and the print nozzle. If you've done this, your bed should be will be level, and the distance from the print nozzle to your print bed is correct as well. Again, this worked out well for me. That is not all though. There is more involved in getting your printer to print well. Maybe if you spend more money, thousands of euros / dollars on a printer, you might be able to print right away. This printer does need some calibration, meaning what is the right temperature of the bed, what is the right temperature of that print nozzle, how fast do I want to be printing. It takes a little bit of experimenting, and it's a good thing that you get a roll of filament with the printer. A good amount of filament is on that roll. However, I am at the end of this roll, as you can hopefully see. So that wasn't all spent with calibration prints though. I did, for instance, this lovely small vase, which turned out excellent, really excellent. Very nice looking vase. The sides are, wow, it's immaculate, really. Very, very nice. And one of my first prints, one of the first things I tried to print was this little fox here. It is all squarish, as you can see. That's the design is like that, so that's intentional. So this looks very, very nice. However, this is not my first try. So what you will probably end up with as your first try is this. Half a fox with all kinds of errors in it. It has shifted, as you can hopefully see. This base over here should have been aligned with the back of the fox. So this is a complete fail. What happened is it came loose off of the bed. So the printer was printing and at some point it came loose, and obviously all layers that are printed after it came loose are well, not misaligned with the base. Yeah, so another one. This is my second try, and it's basically the same story. Yeah, a misprint. Obviously I ended the print here. I just hit stop print and it stopped the print. Yes. Okay, so what you end up doing is experimenting with temperatures, speed, all kinds of variables. In this video I won't go into the use of the software, so the setup of your print. I will do that in a future video coming up. I think that'll be very informative. Well, again, this worked out great. However, one of my last failed prints was this one, and it's very similar to the fox that did print, as you can hopefully see. However, it is missing its head. Ah, that's not nice, and that is not a fault of the printer. It is a fault of my inability or inexperience with 3D printers. As you can see, the beak of this fox has an overhang, right? This here. What is needed to be able to print that is a support here. This is the support I used for this overhang. Like so, maybe upside down. No, like so. And to be able to print this fox, you need that support column. I think that makes sense, because at some point the printer will try to print the underside of its beak, and it will try to print in mid-air, and that doesn't work. So that's what happened here. It tried to print that beak and it just fell to the floor, that beak. Yeah. So the rest of this print went completely correct. The body of this Fox looks exactly the same as the completed one, but yeah. So, experimenting, and again I printed this lovely face, and I'm very impressed with this printer. This looks super duper. Yeah, very nice face. And let me show you a clip of the actual printing. It's not a super duper video, as you can see. I just set the camera down on the bed of the printer and there's a little bit of vibration, but yeah. So that's what it looks like when it's printing. Okay, now obviously if you are in the process of calibrating things, setting things up like I was, what you want to do is print small objects, because some will fail, as you can see. And that's okay, but you don't want to start with a huge face. This face here was scaled down. The original is twice as high, I think. So yeah, if you are doing test prints, calibration prints, just do small parts. I actually also did this here, and it's a base, the base plate of a vase, and after 4 layers I stopped the print. I just wanted to see if it would make a nice base, and I wasn't completely satisfied. I raised the temperature a bit of the bed after this. That did help quite a bit. For instance, this is my very last print. It is a maker's coin, a logo thing. Hope that's visible. And the base of this one looks very, very nice. Very smooth. And I had almost no finishing to be done on this one. No stringing, and yeah, so this was a really nice print. It was a bit stressful, by the way, because my filament spool was running out, but other than that it worked out very well. Very nice print. And one more thing, we're now moving towards actual functional prints. I hope this is visible. This is a self-designed, a 1/10 scale RC car wheel. It's very narrow, as you can see, but that was my intention. My design was a bit flawed. The hex adapter is a little too small, but that's because my design was at fault. Other than that, it's a very nice wheel, and it's very, very strong as well. And my cat likes playing with this. Yes, cool. Okay, so yes, part 2 of my how to get it set up. Again, I will do a separate video on the software side of things. So how do you get things to be printed? How do you make a basic design like this maybe, or a logo maker's coin like this. I'll also tell you how to find designs done by others, such as this one. I didn't design this one myself, I downloaded it. I'll tell you in that video. So how to make designs yourself, how to find other people's designs. And I'll tell you how to get from that stage, so once you've got a design, how to get that into the printer. There are some things, quite a few things involved with that as well. So, that was my update. Have I left anything out? I don't think so. Again, if you are left with questions, hit me up a comment down below. I'll be happy to answer you. My video on how to get the software side of things sorted will be coming up pretty soon. Oh, by the way, when I ordered this printer, I I had planned to do a series of my progression in quality. So I'd now print this fox here, and then in a few weeks or months do it again and see what my progression is, right? That would make sense, I think. However, progression, it is perfect. Well, perfect. Yes, I'm very much impressed with this printer. The seams, especially visible, I think, with this vase. The faces of this vase. Top and bottom layers. So I'm not sure how I'm going to be improving on this. I will keep these prints as a reference, as my first prints. However, doing a series of, see how I improved things. I'm not sure, I can't really see that happening. Oh well. Okay, so again, next video in this series will be about the software side of things. Catch you on the next video. Bye bye.